Alright guys, I'm doing another Versus review. It is now, I am now doing a Versus review on two racing games. Oh yes. Let me put it this way guys. When I started to play these two racing games, I already had my opinion of one and I already had my opinion of the other very early. I will honestly and openly admit I didn't get too much into one of them, and I'll tell you which one when it comes up. But I have gotten a first, I should say, a quick opening opinion from what I've played so far. And, well, okay, let me get to the verses, okay? Well, the verses this time is... Alright, let me show you. This is Ridge Racer for the N64. If you guys can't see it, I will show you a screenshot. If you guys still can't see it. Alright. And the Fast and the Furious Japanese subtitle. Yeah, I know what some of you are already thinking. Well, let's start with Ridge Racer, because I've played this game quite a few times, well, the emulated version, and I really have to give an honest opinion and say that it's a pretty good racing game. I mean, I think there are a few races in the game that are a bit too challenging, but I still think outright it's still a pretty good racing game. I mean, I could be the one that's wrong, or the one that's more unskilled, or the one that's more like not thinking about what I'm choosing when I'm choosing a different car for a different race. So I could be a bit judgmental, a bit too judgmental. Or, I could be, I don't know if you want to call it overreacting or underreacting, whatever. But I still think that it's a decent racing game, but it's also, it gets very hard once you get to the later races. Like, even when they start giving you the better cars, that have better stats. And I find a problem with this because I just don't think that the game was built, I don't think it was built that well, I think the game is just a little too challenging still. But I still think it's a pretty good game to boot. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if you're really, actually, okay, another thing, the music to this racing game, I think it's actually pretty good, okay? The voice acting is very good, okay? The actual races themselves, I mean, they're pretty good, but I think a lot of them are reused too much. But that's kind of like the way the Ridge Racer series is. What they do is they practically give you a track, and then later on, they close parts of that track up, and then open up, different areas on that track, that they closed up earlier. Blah, blah, blah. Okay? Now, some of the cars actually look pretty good, and you can change the color. Okay? You can change the color a bit of many of the cars. You can earn extra cars. Okay? You can actually earn some really awesome cars in Ridge Racer 64. But the game, like I said, it is very hard. Okay? I mean, it gets harder, much later. Alright? Now, okay, I'm going to talk about the graphics. Now, the graphics are actually not too shabby. The crowds could look a little better, but, I mean, this is an N64 game, so it's not really all that bad, for a crowd. But, I mean, if you can see the crowd looks flat. like in the back. I don't know if you guys can actually see that, but the crowd looks actually, wow. Okay, so what do I give like a game like Ridge Racer 64 as far as a rating? I think I would literally rate Ridge Racer 64 like a 7.5 out of 10, which isn't actually too shabby. I mean, I've seen better racers out there. I mean, you know, and it's like I said, like the later challenges, they just get a bit too hard. You know, they didn't really think about like the later challenges. I mean, I can understand like most games out there do that too. Like they increase the challenge a bit, you know, once you start getting better stuff. But this, I think it goes a bit overboard, in my opinion. Alright, you can have your own different opinion. Anyways, so yeah, I give it a 7.5. Alright, now let's talk about the Fast and the Furious Japanese subtitle. Yes, I am laughing. Okay. First of all, this game here, when you create a save, it's like 700, it's like around 700 kilobytes. Okay, and that's quite a bit on your memory card. Well, I mean, but is the game really good enough to even, like, want to really save? I think there are good points and bad points about this game. Let me point some of them out. When I popped this game, and the first thing I noticed is that the narration is actually very good. Like, I really like the narration. But if it's trying to be like Tokyo Drift, it's not that good. Because, like, the movie never really had a narrator. You know, so if it's trying to be like that, it's failing miserably. Okay? Yeah, you fail, people can go, fail. You know? If you want. Alright. Graphics. The graphics are actually very good. I really like the graphics for a game like the Fast and the Furious. Japanese subtitle. Alright. And no, I don't even know what the Japanese subtitle actually is. To be quite honest, did most of you even know that the Japanese language is one of the hardest languages out there to learn? So, like, why would I want to read a subtitle? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, get a gun. Get a gun. Shoot yourself. Alright, but you know, anyways. No, don't really get a gun, guys. It's a joke. Well, anyways. The graphics are good. I mean, how does it play very well? Well, I think it plays kind of well. I mean, like, when you start this game up, the screen starts actually shaking a bit. I mean, the screen's a bit wobbly when you're racing, guys. I mean, I don't really like it all that much. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna put it, like, on my top 10 best camera motion games list. Yeah, they really needed to work on the camera a bit more. Okay, alright, I'm gonna check the video's time right now. Alright. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Are the races fun? Yeah, if I'm laughing, it can't be all that good. And guess what? It really isn't. Okay? Let me tell you something, guys. When I played the first race, I was kind of like, holy crap, like, what am I supposed to do? Well, you're supposed to actually use a bunch of nitrous. Like, you're given, like, the option to use nitrous while racing somebody in the game. And, well, while it's great that you can, and it helps you win, well, let me put it to you this way. I beat the first race. Okay, I got the $6,000 that you get for a reward. You know, here's another thing. Oh, and you're gonna love this. Okay, so this guy gives you a car, okay, to use in a race. Alright, yeah, I really like this. And the car's really good, okay? You win the race, and then he becomes like a freaking asshole and he takes the car back. Like, what the hell is all that about? Like, I'm gonna be like an asshole and take this really good car that I just gave you back, you know? Oh my god, it makes me crack up because it's just, I think it's kind of wrong that they did that. It's kind of like saying, F you, you know, we're not giving you this car. Not in the beginning of the game. Alright, so the story, I really didn't play through much of this game, and I gotta be really honest, I didn't really want to, okay? I mean, even though I enjoy the narrator, it's just not good enough, you know? The music's actually very good, okay? But the story, you're gonna have to go through this game yourself and find out if you actually like it. I didn't end up liking this racing game, okay? Mainly because, and I was actually trying to finish this earlier, but mainly because the races after the first one are very hard. Like, every single one of them is very hard. Like, like my question to the developer of the Fast and the Furious Japanese subtitle is, do they really hate us? Does Bandai Namco really hate us that much to create like one easy race and the rest of them practically impossible? I just said practically. There could have been a way to win those races, but I'm so irate. Like what I did is I bought like the first car and I souped it up with like the first level stuff all around. Still could not win that first race. I was furious. Well, there you go. There's the furious part. I got furious pretty fast after playing this game. Wow, that is bad. So I guess the title actually kind of makes sense in that kind of way. You'll get furious fast if you play this game. Alright, so what do I actually give the Fast and the Furious as a rating? Okay, before I do that, I'm going to check the time again. Alright. Sorry about that again, guys. I think I give the Fast and the Furious Japanese subtitle a 5 out of 10. And I think I'm being very generous, because it really deserves maybe like a 3 out of 10. But you see, what I actually did like is I like the looks of the cars. You know, I mean, I kind of like the way some of the races were actually set up, but I just didn't like how difficult the game was. You know, it really was not a good idea. So, who wins this? Well, I think you guys already know. If it's 7.5 versus 5 out of 10. Ridge Racer. Yep. I think you guys heard enough. Ridge Racer 64 is the champion. They even said it themselves. Alright, so I just wanted to thank you guys for watching this versus with the Fast and the Furious Japanese subtitle versus Ridge Racer 64 for the N64. Oh, Fast and Furious subtitle for the PS2, by the way. Thank you guys for watching.